Welcome to another episode of TeeVo and The Beard.
I know you can't see it, but I'm TeeVo, and that's The Beard.
Now today we're going to start kind of what you can expect from a normal show. We're going
Finally!
I think that's what most people listening are thinking. We're going to start talking about, what's coming up as far as TV shows. We'll still talk about...
The thing we said we were going to, start talking about.
Yeah.
Just, we said
we
that
started too early.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll still have the occasional movie review and stuff like that, but...
movie reviews are still there. Just, now there's going to be more stuff.
Yeah, we're going to be more...
less filler.
Scheduled. Yeah.
Less filler.
Less filler, like this conversation.
Yeah.
So, but we will start with the traditional icebreaker. I think TeeVo had one.
Yeah, it goes in vein of the subject-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Or the subject for the rest of the episode. So,
right.
The TV season is upon us tonight.
Mm-hmm.
The new TV season, and there are shows we already listed that we definitely watch.
Yeah.
But every year there's new stuff.
Yeah.
Is there anything new you're gonna watch this season? Anything, doesn't have to be just anything. For me, okay, I'll start.
Okay.
This week is the premiere of Lethal Weapon.
Right.
Gotta say, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I enjoy the films. They're exactly what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And if the show can just be exactly just that, not the movies, just that genre, why not?
I've never seen the Lethal Weapon movies.
Really? Well,
No.
I can just say, they're really that. They're action buddy. They're the quintessential buddy cop action movies.
Yeah.
No more, no less.
And I'm guessing by the previews I've seen for the TV show, even if you've never seen any of the movies, you can jump right into the
show. There is funnily enough, from the show From Dusk Till Dawn has raised the stakes of me for movies that get turned to TV shows.
Yeah.
I
love that show. So
I think before that, there's you were bounded by we should try to be the movie, but try to be our own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think From Dusk Till Dawn found that perfect medium.
Oh, 100%.
And then I caught up with season 2 lately on Netflix, and I didn't watch the sequels. From what I heard, there was nothing to really watch.
Yeah.
But, however, I did watch season 2 of From Dusk Till Dawn, and I hear it's not like the other movies, but it's okay. It took, the first movie, expanded on a lot of things, and they just keep going from that.
And then you had Danny Trejo in it.
You did have Danny Trejo. So, I think Rush Hour didn't really do that. I watched an episode of Rush Hour, didn't really like what I was watching the show-wise. I'm hoping Lethal Weapon can do that, You got 4 movies to work on.
Yeah.
That's 4 seasons so far.
Right.
6 if you stretch it, with different subplots or anything.
And modernizing it and all that. So
yeah, but just the notion,
become its own thing already.
But just the notion of you can be the movie, but you can be your own thing.
Right.
You can have the movie as the map of the season, but explore different things. Like in From Dusk Till Dawn, characters that weren't even a big deal became a big deal.
Yeah, Sex Machine.
Exactly. Yeah. He was just that guy, and now he's spoiler, big old bad guy.
Yeah.
But I like that. Oh, wow, they're doing more with these characters. That's cool, but you're still in keeping with vein in the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like if the horror universe existed the same way the Marvel Cinematic Universe does. Yeah. It kind of took from that, like how S.H.I.E.L.D, which we'll talk about, of course, later.
Yeah.
S.H.I.E.L.D isn't part of, Avengers and stuff like that. It's not part of the movie, besides Coulson.
Yeah.
But it does its own thing, and it still stays, continuity-wise, it stays in the same vein. Yeah. And Dusk Till Dawn does that same thing, where it stays in that same continuity, but it is very much its own thing.
So, from any show that's being adapted from a movie, I put it up there.
Yeah.
Obviously you're making it because there are a fan base of that movie. You would make it. No one's going to make Shampoo the show.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you got to market it towards, you're like, oh, we need new fans, but, there are people who did watch the movies. Let's give them a treat. But,
yeah.
Let's, there's new ways of telling stories now.
So. Well, I'll start with the one that I won't be mentioning on this show at all, because I think I'm the only person within my geographic region that watches it.
All right.
And it's season 2 of Superstore.
Okay.
If you're familiar with that.
I'm familiar with the,
It's kind of set in like a Walmart type thing, which hits me. I spent a lot of time in retail, and there's a lot of jokes in there that I fall on the floor laughing about, and my wife's just sitting there just kind of twiddling her thumbs like, all right, is it over?
I take it she has never dealt with the retail.
In a smaller capacity. She worked at a small bookstore before.
Oh,
but she hasn't worked for like a giant conglomerate. So, But I really enjoy it. I'm glad it got renewed for a second season. Do I think it will keep going?
Who knows?
We'll see. But that's all you'll you'll hear from me on it. It's kind of, if I believed in guilty pleasures, that would be my guilty pleasure there. That's my show.
I have many of them. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm interested in MacGyver
when
it starts because I grew up with the original MacGyver, and I'm kind of wondering, the original MacGyver, he could take, paperclip, pack of gum.
Paperclip was like his thing.
Yeah. And, defuse a bomb. How are they going to adapt that to a modern setting where we have so many things digital already? Yeah.
Well, you have a lot of, I don't think a pack of gum and paperclip's going to do something with remote detonation from,
exactly.
a laptop.
Yeah. So,
but I take it you're wondering, well, how are you going to do that?
Right. So, will it become like a hackers sort of thing like Scorpion does? Mm-hmm. If it does, then I'm just going to let it be its own thing and probably not watch it.
And that's all you can do.
Yeah, because if I want to watch something like Scorpion, I'm going to watch Scorpion.
Yeah. Well, I kind of think that with really everything now. There's a lot of stuff that's playing everywhere.
Yeah.
When people say, you gotta watch this, back in the days where it was just the network television stations that showed shows, you gave it 6 episodes or so. Now with this many... Sometimes you don't get me with the trailer of the show.
Yeah, basically.
I'm not watching.
Yeah. And if you do get me with the trailer, if that first episode doesn't blow me out the water, then I'm not going to make the same mistake I made with Gotham and keep watching.
Yeah. Well, it's just, there's a lot of content. I mean, you have, like, streaming networks that don't even... no one even knows are making shows with people I like Crackle has a new show with Martin Freeman. Mm-hmm. Who knows what Crackle is?
Right, yeah.
And the History Channel has shows. Yeah. Like networks like El Rey is popping up.
Yeah, I love El Rey.
There's just a lot of stuff. So yeah, if you're not going to impress me from the get go.
Yeah.
Or, if I just, not because it's bad, but if I'm just not interested.
Yeah, you gotta get me with the characters and the story,
Time is precious.
Yeah, then you throw in the spectacle with the special effects and stuff like that.
Or not,
yeah. Or not, yeah, but I'm saying if you're gonna have, like, From Dusk Till Dawn has some great special effects, but if it didn't have the characters and the story, I wouldn't care.
It's just another, people are dying, blah, blah.
That's why popular shows like Burn Notice never got me, because, that's a spy show with good special effects, explosions, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't care about the characters. Yeah. And the storyline is repetitive. I love Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
But unless it's a story that has a lot of him in it,
well, I don't care. Well, same thing for me. Like, I was in the minority. I didn't like Psych.
Okay. Get out.
Okay. I didn't like Psych.
No, I can definitely understand.
Well, on that same guys, like, well, okay, I don't like the character.
Right.
I on the USA Network, the marquee show was Monk at the time.
Yeah.
And I like Monk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, they always like to pair them up because they were, detective shows and whatnot. Yeah, but it was like, I like one guy, but I don't like the other guy. Yeah. So I'm going to watch the guy I like.
Yeah.
And just let be the one I don't like.
Yeah. And then not go online and blast the one you don't like.
I think that's the first time I ever said anything about Psych since it was even aired. Mm-hmm. So, just that notion.
Yeah. And then, of course, my other shows, anybody who knows me knows that I'm going to be already watching season 3 of From Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay.
Scream Queens has season 2 coming out, which is going to have John Stamos in it. And Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Right.
Just because I know Evil Dead isn't great cinematic work of a masterpiece, but I love it for what it is, for its cheesiness and campiness, and Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
So,
but going on that, I think that shows like that, Ash vs. Evil Dead. I didn't watch Evil Dead, but I like the concept of what they're doing with the characters, the universe,
and how it's literally 30 years later, both in real time and in the TV show.
And shows like Dusk Till Dawn, stuff like that. I like because a lot of things are going to get remade now.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to do original stuff. But I like the notion that people are taking it. It's like, okay, we don't have to make it original, but we can just expand on it in a good way.
Mm-hmm. And especially like with Ash vs. Evil Dead, you have Sam Raimi behind it, which From Dusk Till Dawn, you have Robert Rodriguez behind it.
Yeah.
So these are their children.
Yes.
They know what they're doing with
the vision is there.
Right.
And as far as what I said earlier with Lethal Weapon, I don't know how many people of the original are there, but just be a good show.
Yeah.
That's, if you're comedy, just be funny.
Right.
You don't have to be funnier than so-and-so. Just be funny. If you're an action movie, just amaze me. You don't have to be better than something. Just be good.
So you need like a Hawaii Five-0 mixed with Brooklyn Nine-Nine could be a good...
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But enough about new TV shows. Yeah. Let's talk
about old TV shows.
Let's talk about the main event.
That I Love Lucy. I mean, I don't know why I said that when I...
Where has S.H.I.E.L.D been?
I never liked I Love Lucy.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Oh, man, I know somebody that will hurt you.
You already said you don't love Psych, so we've already lost half our listenership anyway.
I'm just saying, I forgive you, but, you know. Yeah. But anyway, nonetheless, we're going to be talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
But don't worry about The Flash. We will get there later.
And if I have to, on my own, by myself, I will get to Supergirl. I know you're not a huge fan of it.
I will get Season 2 a chance.
Yeah.
I will give Season 2
Mostly because Hulu will allow you to give it a chance.
Hulu will allow me to watch it. CW is taking over. Not that CW has, you know, my complete faith. But, you know, maybe.
I mean, like, what? They get you at least 50%. Because, I mean, they got you with Flash and iZombie.
Yeah.
So...
Well, there's a lot of shows that I don't watch on CW, but, you know...
But I just mean out of the same, you know, genre.
Oh, yeah.
Comic show.
But, well, you know, it's a new network. I'm going to just at least give it the try I gave it the first time. Let me see if you've done anything different. If you haven't, then...
yeah.
It's a toss-up, but, you know, maybe you did do something. And that's what I'm going to give maybe 2 episodes a shot.
Okay.
But I swear to God, she says Kryptonese again.
Yeah.
That might be you have to really up everything out if you're going to keep the word Kryptonese.
But they can as long as they can keep calling her Kara. She won't say Kryptonese again, but they're going to call her Kara.
If she doesn't say Kryptonese, you can keep Kara.
Okay.
I'm still going to say Kara in my head.
Right.
But, you know.
You and Kat both.
Do what?
You and Kat both.
Oh, yeah. The only person that's like, see, there you go. You read the comics.
Yeah, right.
Or you watch the TV shows.
Yeah.
You watch everything else Supergirl except apparently this.
Yeah.
So, where
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Where should we start off? Light recap of Season 3.
Well, I think just because... Okay, now this, of course, will be spoiler.
But then again, if you're listening to our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know, episode, I would assume you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. But for those who haven't, you know, since it is the one that's near and dear to your heart, how about you give them, like, the 30-second elevator pitch about what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is.
Okay.
And then they can pause this, go check it out, and then come back.
Basically, it follows a group of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents led by Phil Coulson, who was killed in the Avengers, but has been resurrected for the show. How that happens, you can watch the show.
And it's in the first episode, so that's not...
It's in the first episode, but they don't reveal exactly how till later in the first season. But again, if you want to know, watch the show.
Yep.
And they take on various threats that go against the world. The first season predicated on the smaller jobs that the Avengers, you know, kind of overlook. And, you know, that was hunky-dory.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the show progressed, it becomes more and more dangerous. And eventually, you know, as we saw in The Winter Soldier, S.H.I.E.L.D. is dismantled, but S.H.I.E.L.D. is still existing in the shadows, which is where Season 2 takes off.
Right.
And S.H.I.E.L.D. operates under the lead of Coulson in the shadows. And this is the first show in the Marvel Universe to introduce the notion of the Inhumans, of the Terrigen Mist.
Yep.
And we get that in Season 2, and the show has predicated on Inhumans since then. But now... we are going into the realm of mysticism.
Yes.
And if you were living under a rock, if you're a geek, nerd, dork,
whatever,
if you have been living under a rock,
yeah,
you would, unless you've been living under a rock, you would know that they announced that Season 4 Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will be starring the Ghost Rider.
Yes.
And I'm excited about that. And again, we are not experts per se.
No inside knowledge.
We do not work for Marvel. We do not spend years or hours in the day researching it nonstop.
Nope.
We are purely just fans, commenting with hopefully other like-minded fans. But anyway, so I have not been the biggest Ghost Rider person. I like the notion of him, but I didn't see the Nick Cage movies, from what I've been told. I'm not missing much.
You're not. No.
But I just like, you know...
I didn't know there was a new Ghost Rider.
Yes, sir. But, you know, that's the thing about superheroes, you know... They have interesting backstories, or just interesting stories, and I think Ghost Rider is one of them. Even though I haven't been a big researcher or a viewer. I like the notion, like, ooh, like a spirit of vengeance goes after bad people.
Yeah,
on a flaming motorcycle with a flaming head. That's cool.
Yeah.
So when they said they're doing this, but they're taking it different. They're not doing the traditional Johnny Blaze character, which is what Nick Cage did.
Right.
They're doing the newest iteration in the comics, Robbie Reyes, who instead of a motorcycle drives a car.
Right.
What were your thoughts about it?
I'm like I said, I didn't know there was a new Ghost Rider. So when they first announced it, that flaming chain on the side of the buses was for him.
Well, everybody. I remember we talked about this. Everybody. Who jumped the gun too early, but rightfully so. Yeah. I'm going to put that out there. You're rightfully so to assume that. Mm-hmm. But everybody, thought, oh my god, they're doing Ghost Rider. We were like, okay, I don't know. Yeah. The show hasn't screamed Ghost Rider yet, but there was a character in Season 3, Hellfire, who used a flaming chain. So we were like, okay, maybe he has a more expanded role.
And it would have made perfect sense.
It would have made perfect sense. But we were wrong.
Yep.
We, people who follow the show constantly, were wrong.
Yep.
But I'm trying to think of their budget.
Yeah.
Unless maybe they're going carte blanche this year.
Because that's the thing that got me out when I was thinking Ghost Rider. I'm thinking like the Nicolas Cage movies, like the old,
Well, just in general, like the flaming head.
Right. And I'm thinking
you can't have Ghost Rider without a flaming head a lot.
Right. But
I don't know. I mean, maybe they're going to try. We haven't seen it.
Or we're going to see some different version. Kind of like we saw with Hive in the in Season 3.
Yeah.
He mostly looked like Brett Dalton.
Because they saved their money until the season finale to show Hive.
Yeah, and even then we didn't get like a huge
there was no
view of them.
Exactly, just a head.
So anyway, this could go a similar way. I'm trying not to think too much about it because, like I said, not familiar with the new comic with the new storyline.
I read into it when they 100% confirmed it. Essentially, the character Robbie Reyes, he has a younger brother named Gabe. Mm-hmm. Who, he basically is like his parent of sorts, and everything that he does, whether good or bad, is, to better the lives of him and Gabe.
Okay.
And in the comics, that's why he was street racing to earn money to, take care of him. And unfortunately, he was gunned down and dies.
Right.
And a spirit takes over him, and we're thinking, as the reader's thinking, oh, it must be the spirit of vengeance. Mm-hmm. It's not. Okay. It's a demonic spirit, and it's the spirit of his satanic uncle.
Oh, okay.
And he basically has to, they can't exorcise the spirit from him because technically Robbie is somewhat dead.
Okay.
Get rid of the spirit, he dies.
Right.
And that's that. So
it becomes like an anti-hero sort of.
Yeah, exactly. There is a bloodlust, from the uncle, but he does, I guess, make an inner compromise. Mm-hmm. And again, we're not experts.
Right.
Just putting that out there. For anybody that's listening as a Robbie Reyes expert, comment.
Yeah, leave a comment.
But, from what I understood, he made a compromise with his uncle. It's like, okay, well, if I'm going to kill people, I'm going to kill bad people.
Okay.
And unlike with someone like Johnny Blazes, where, he's purposely seeks out those who've done wrong.
Right.
And Robbie's is like, his spirit is like, I don't care. We're just going to kill people.
Yeah, so we could definitely see a lot of character growth and inner turmoil and stuff like that.
And, when they said they moved it from 10, 9 to 10, this is kind of a story to take that. Mm-hmm. But for me, all smiles, loved it.
Right.
I don't know the actor too much, Gabriel Luna. Mm-hmm. I now follow him on Instagram, though.
Nice.
I pretty much follow anybody that's going to be on S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right, yeah.
But I did
sometimes literally, sometimes digitally.
Exactly. I did see him in a couple other things. He was in True Detective Season 2. Don't really remember his character that much, but hey, this is his chance to be that guy. Instead of like, oh, you were one of those people? I guess I have to watch it again to really remember you.
Well, and then I wonder if they're going to, I know they've announced him and they've shown him on there, but remember before Season 3 they announced Lash.
Yes.
And percentage-wise, we see very little of him. Saw very little of him throughout Season 3. Yes. So I'm wondering if this is kind of like their big announcement before Season 4, and then we have him in like 5% of the whole season.
But I would say not, because they announced Lash. But Lash wasn't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3. Lash.
Right.
They're really... they're not. But then again, they did it kind of that with Secret Warriors. Yeah. We saw almost even less percentage of the Secret Warriors.
That's true, yeah.
But I like to think they're beefing up all the advertisements to pretty much predicate around the Ghost Rider. So I'm optimistic that that's not the case. That, they'll show a lot of the Ghost Rider.
Yeah. But, we're also not watching it just for Ghost Rider. We're watching it because we love all the characters that already exist there.
It's just I'm interested to see how the Ghost Rider affects the dynamics of the characters.
Right.
But again, like you said, we're not watching the Ghost Rider show. We're watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right. And we want to find out what happened to Quake.
Yes.
Yes. To kind of recap on end of season 3 there a little bit.
Yeah, she is a...
So yeah, definitely spoiler territory now.
She is now not an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
She's a fallen agent.
She is a fallen agent. That was a nice little title arc for the end of that season. Yeah. But that is true. We at the end of season 3, we lost 2 cast members. One of them being Brett Dalton.
Right.
But like he even says, like there was only so much you could have gone with the character Grant Ward.
Yeah.
There was only even less place you could go with the character of Hive.
Yeah, I was kind of when they waited until the final episode to kill him off, I was kind of getting nervous. They were going to bring him into season 4, and
Well, when I went to his panel at DragonCon, just speaking of the character Grant Ward, he says it sucks that he died.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't get to be around them anymore. But if you're, watching a show, how often, is it going to get boring to be like, ha, you guys can't catch me?
Right. Yeah.
That can only go so far. And I think it did go as far as it could.
Yeah, because after a while, he just would have been the bald guy stroking a white cat going, I'll get you next time.
And, they, kind of kept him around for Hive. But again, the notion of Hive, I think Hive could have gone into another body, sure.
Yeah.
But, that character, is not as interesting as Grant Ward.
Right.
So they done the best, they did the best they could with that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll miss Brett Dalton.
Yeah.
The other person we missed, that died in the episode was Luke Mitchell's character, Lincoln.
Right. He'll be missed, but
not as much.
Yeah.
Well, I just remember being confused in season 2 when he first popped up. Mm-hmm. Are you going to be around for a while or not?
Right.
And then he was... And then he wasn't, but then he definitely was. Yeah, but then he was in season 3 for a little bit, and then he went away a lot.
Yeah.
But then he really was in the show. But, again, yeah, I'll miss him, but, not gonna be like Daisy about him.
Right, yeah.
Which leads to why Quake, Sky, Daisy, whichever Chico wants to go by, it's Quake, though. I do know that, guys. Come on, I do watch the show.
Right.
But,
I mean, the way the exact final scene of season 3 there makes me say Quake.
Yeah. But she has, she's the fallen agent because she feels like everybody she gets close to dies. So what's better way?
Well, when you lose 2 boyfriends in the middle of space there.
And, her parents, don't forget Kyle MacLachlan and Deacon Lockman, her dad killed her mother to protect her.
Yeah.
So, and then she had to sacrifice her dad to give him a better life. So
I'd like to think we could see Hyde come back, though.
Oh, I think we will.
Yeah.
But I hope.
Speculation.
I hope. I hope we see Kyle MacLachlan back. But I love Kyle MacLachlan in anything. So.
Yeah.
But
Mayor of Portland.
Yeah. But she feels like, the best way to protect the ones I love that are still around is I can't be around them.
Right.
Now, why she's, being all, anti-hero, I don't know. She could literally just go back in her van and just,
Yeah.
She did that before.
Yeah. Not be superhero anymore. That's,
Exactly. But anyway, I never thought about that. It's like, you lived in a van. Nobody ever knew you were there.
Yeah.
The only reason people are knowing where you are is because you're quaking everything.
Right, yeah.
You take that out, you could fit in really well.
Yeah, because there's nothing abnormal looking about her. She just looks like a normal person.
Well, I don't know. It's with all that eyeliner now.
Well, yeah. She could look
and
like
the
a
goth
normal...
look. That was one thing that took me from season 3. And I was like, what is... Okay, it's an odd choice to go rogue in. Okay, whatever. You know what? Hey, I'm not living your life.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, like the best way to get S.H.I.E.L.D. off your back is to not quake.
Right, yeah.
But anyway, maybe they'll answer those things. Maybe someone will actually say something. It's like, hey, if you wouldn't rob banks or something.
Maybe that's what Ghost Rider will have a conversation with.
Yeah, like if you didn't rob banks, nobody would.
It's like, I have a demon spirit. I can't really help myself, but you just.
Yeah. But then again, when I turn to a normal person, I don't have a flaming head anymore. Yeah. When cameras catch you quaking, that's it. They got you.
Exactly.
But anyway, hopefully they'll explain that. But nonetheless, so that's where we're at. They did kind of catch us up with what the other characters are going through. As we saw in the finale, Mac and Coulson. Coulson, who is now not the director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
He's back to being Agent Coulson. Him and Mac are kind of doing the buddy thing now. Trying to catch Quake.
They're doing Lethal Weapon.
Basically. They said May is the new strike team leader of, like, an anti-powered people group or something like that.
I was hoping she was going to be the new director.
I didn't think she would be.
I didn't think she would be either, but I wanted her to be the new director.
And Simmons is now the number 2 to the new director, played by Jason O'Mara, who we do not know who he's playing yet. But they will, they're going to say it. Yeah. And I think that's a bomb they're, waiting for the actual episode to drop.
Hopefully he's not going to be just like, I'm John Smith and I'm the new director here.
They have done stuff like that before. I remember when they cast Martin Freeman to be in Civil War. There was a shroud of mystery around who that character was. Of course, the internet kind of pegged it down eventually. Yeah. But it was, but if you've seen the movie, and if you know the character history, it was like, why didn't you just say? Yeah. It was kind of things like, what was so secret about that? Yeah. So it could be something like that. I'm hoping it's not, but, we don't, who knows with these things. Let's see. Who else is in the show? Like I said, Jason O'Mara is becoming a recurring character. Parmina Nagra. You may know her from Bend It Like Beckham. Right. Because she bent it like Beckham. Yeah. She has joined the show as an anti-inhuman senator. Okay. I don't know much about that because they haven't said much. But I do like Parmina Nagra. So good job on that. Yeah. We see Yo-Yo back. I don't know if you saw recently they released like a new cast portrait. Okay, no, I hadn't seen it. And what shocked me was that Yo-Yo was in it. They kind of made it out where maybe she'll pop in here and there, but I was like, are you
No pun intended on her. Exactly. Her powers there.
I was like, are you going to be in this more? Because I liked her. Yeah. I liked her dynamic.
Yeah. Though I liked her in Mac's chemistry.
I did. Yeah, that's good. Come on, Mac needs some love. He's gone through a lot of the past couple seasons.
Quake tried to kill him.
Yeah. His brother, him and his brother almost died. Yeah. So, he needs some love. But I do hope Joey comes back. For those who didn't know, Joey was, he doesn't have a code name, but he was an inhuman that could, like, melt metal. Right. It's just, I liked him and Yo-Yo's, like, chemistry, in the sense of, like, they spoke Spanish. Right. I just liked their kind of tit-for-tat, conversation on Espanol.
Yeah, they kind of had their inside thing while everybody else doesn't speak Spanish is just like, okay.
It was funny. Yeah. I hope he comes back. I think that's all they'll really tell us until the show starts. Yeah. So let's take the rest of the time to...
You said Simmons. What about Fitz?
Fitz is working with Holden Radcliffe, who's played by John Hannah. They didn't really say much. They just said he's been working with him.
Now, that's a character that has grown.
Oh my god. Yeah. He's a man now. Yeah. He was... I was watching the pilot just randomly while I was at Dragon Con. And just see how, like, him and Simmons were just like these kids. Now they're grown-ups now. Yeah. They're banging each other, and they are grown-ups. Yep. But, yeah, you're right. He has gone. I just remember even the season premiere of season 3. He's going in, like, terrorists.
Yeah, he's doing James Bond stuff.
He was. Yeah. And, trying to... I was like, whoa, this is the new Fitz. I like this new Fitz. He's a man.
Trying to get Simmons' attention.
He is taking care of himself, even if he definitely cannot. Yeah. And Simmons, too. Yeah. So, but they didn't really say what he's really up to. But we do know with Holden Radcliffe's character, he is, introducing the notion of life model decoys, which they have cast Mallory Jensen to play his life model decoy, Ada. Okay. I don't know much about Ada. I know she has somewhat of a history. Don't know if that history will be relevant to the show, but hey, they can do whatever they want. But I do like Mallory Jensen. For those who may have known her, she was in Gallimant. Right. Before it got canceled. She was in the first season of Young and Hungry, a freeform show, which I watched her in, and she was pretty cute in that. So, she's got my attention. Yeah. But yeah.
If you want TiVo to watch your show, put a cute girl in there.
But, you gotta have more than that. But, you're gonna be interested. Yeah. A la Supergirl.
That'll get you in that first episode.
A la Supergirl.
Supergirl. iZombie got you in there with a cute girl.
But luckily, it keeps me.
Yeah, but that one has a great story and all that, too.
And let me meet them. Right. So I can tell them that. That's just a bonus. So Supergirl, come to Dragon Con. I'll lie to you and say I watch your show.
Right.
Oh!
Oh, but she listens to this show, so now you can't.
Oh. So let's take the rest of the time and say, let's talk about expectations, because we obviously don't know much other than the few things they have let out.
Well, one thing that I want from season 4 is I definitely want to be... Season 3 became predictable.
Okay. It's funny, my favorite season so far is season 2. Mm-hmm. And season 3, when they had high points, they were high.
Oh, yeah.
They were awesome.
For sure.
But their low points were like, okay, guys.
Yeah.
And season 2 had season 3 had more exciting moments than season 2, but they were just at a constant rate of, keeping you on your toes,
right.
and telling a concrete story, whereas season 3 was that first 2 episodes, awesome.
Right.
And then it kind of dipped a bit, but then it came back, so it was kind of just the back and forth.
Well, the thing with season 2 is, the low points would come within the episode and then bounce back up, towards the end, making you want to go to the next one.
Yeah.
With season 3, like you were saying, it had really good episodes, and then, a low point would be
a whole episode.
An entire episode. I don't want to see Simmons walking around the planet for an entire hour.
I appreciate that because I was worried that they were going to do the Arrow thing and then, dedicate 20 minutes an episode showing what happened.
Yeah.
For me, I like that they just got it out of the way. That's it.
Just purged the whole system there.
Right, because, from what I know about Arrow, I think they might still be doing stuff like this. They're still doing flashbacks on that island. I don't know how much anymore, but from what I heard of the first season, they did a lot. And it was like,
I've had to get past episode 1.
Yeah. They did a lot. They're still doing flashbacks. So I like that for the planet. It was just one solid boom.
Yeah.
Well, I like that she got back in the second episode.
Yeah.
And, it was hinted of stuff that happened. But I like everything that happened on the planet. It was just one episode. It's like, okay, there you go. Mm-hmm. Now we're back to,
Yeah. Well, from that point of view, I can definitely get it. But it is one of those episodes where if you missed it, some of the important stuff will be explained to you later.
Exactly.
So,
but if you really love it, but I like it as a showcase for Elizabeth Henstridge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely made her earn her paycheck a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of the other stuff, Hive coming to Earth was predictable. And the way it happened, the fact that Ward was still alive, I saw it coming. Well, alive-ish, yeah. Brett Dalton was going to come back was very...
Yeah.
I saw
when Coulson caved his chest in, you're like, I don't feel like you're going away.
Right, yeah.
As opposed to the end of the season, when he blew up in space, you're like...
That's harder to come back from.
You're not coming back.
Right.
I don't feel like you're coming back. You could.
Unless it's a flashback.
Yeah. But then again, anybody can come back in a flashback.
Right.
But I just didn't feel like you were coming back. With the chest cave, I was like, yeah, you're dead.
How dead are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it turns out you were dead.
Yeah.
Grant Ward is dead.
Mm-hmm.
The actor is still coming back.
Yeah.
So...
And when, when Ward had his ward, I knew it was going to be Daisy.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know a lot of the predictability comes from the fact that I've also read and am reading a lot of comics.
Yeah.
And there are tropes and stuff in there.
And just watch shows.
Right. So you know that if he has a secret henchman that's part of the group, it's going to be his love interest.
Yeah. I did like that twist, though. That was a good episode. I recently finished watching season 3 again.
Okay.
I thought that was a good twist.
See, I didn't see it as a twist. I saw it as a good plot point, yeah. And I did enjoy the episode, but it was like, I saw it from, not even, because I don't pre-read, if I don't see the episode when it airs, if I had to watch it on Hulu, I don't do that. I don't read any of the spoiler stuff or anything like that.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is one of the shows, because I'm not that bothered with spoilers, but, I don't read. Right. I've only been spoiled once by S.H.I.E.L.D. It wasn't even a big deal. It was just I accidentally saw that episode that they were going to surprise us with Deathlock.
Right.
And, they said, oh my god, so-and-so comes back, and I accidentally clicked it. I was like, yes! But I hate that it wasn't a surprise.
Yeah.
But I never, read a plot point so-and-so did this and so-and-so died. So I'm pretty good about not doing that.
Yeah, but I'm definitely hoping for more surprises. And I think with the addition of Ghost Rider, and like I said, me not knowing this version of Ghost Rider, it definitely opens it up for more surprises, more twists, things like that. And not knowing, the new Why am I wanting to say director? Yeah, I also want to say co-host for some reason. The new director.
And your new co-host of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
co-host of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming this fall.
Yeah. S.H.I.E.L.D. co-host.
I can agree with that. And I think we're in for a surprise because, they're beefing up the Ghost Rider, kind of like Lash. And we thought Lash was the bad guy.
Right.
But so-and-so, lo and behold, he's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
And
does bad stuff, but not a bad guy.
But for good reasons.
Right.
I'm thinking it's going to be something like that. I think they will portray the Ghost Rider as somewhat antagonistic. Probably the first half of the season, I would guess.
Right.
But there is something more to it.
Yeah, because S.H.I.E.L.D's really good about, it's like season 1, part 1, season 1, part 2, season 2, part 1.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like we've had 6 seasons so far.
Exactly. So I feel like there's something that they're not telling us, obviously, because why would they? It ruins the whole point of watching it.
Yeah.
They're just going to tell us. We can just read it and, go on with our lives.
Right.
We watched it nonetheless. And, with Doctor Strange coming out, they've already confirmed that, they're going to do somewhat of a tie-in.
Right.
For those thinking, oh my God, is Benedict Cumberbatch coming in? Probably not.
Probably not, yeah.
Stop thinking that. I remember from day one when the S.H.I.E.L.D. premiered and they, obviously said they're going to do tie-ins with movies. They're like, oh my God, is Thor coming? Oh my God, is Captain America coming? Oh my God, is Iron Man coming? No. I'm not saying no as in I wouldn't want it.
Right.
I'm saying no as like they can't.
But instead of Thor, you have Lady Sif.
Yes.
And things like that. So, there could be characters within the movie of Doctor Strange that you do see.
Or, but I think now, we all know when they say tie-in, it's just sharing like the same feel of it.
Right. Or like when...
Not a pure crossover.
With the Civil War tie-in, that small inside stuff where if you haven't seen Civil War, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't going to ruin anything for you. But if you have seen it, you're going to get more out of it.
And also, you're not lost if you didn't see the movie yet.
Right.
So, I like that the way they've done that with the show. You see the movie, you know more. But if you didn't, you're okay.
Right.
The show keeps going on.
Yeah.
The show's not going, did you see it?
Yeah.
We can't go on if... Yeah. You're going to be lost this whole time.
Just stop the show. Everybody hasn't seen the movie yet. Hold on.
Yeah. We got to wait for these people.
Yeah, go see Doctor Strange so we can get on.
Yeah, so I like that they do stuff like that, but they did say that. And obviously the extent of it, again, they can't tell us.
Right.
But just knowing that they're going to deal with more mysticism. I did read from Jed Wheat and says, like, pretty much everything they've built towards so far, most of that has come to a close.
Okay.
So this is ground for really new stuff.
Yeah. And by the time...
I mean, come on. I mean, I feel like there is something within the dimensions of hell they're going to deal with. But of course, they're, surprise. Come on.
But like we were saying earlier, when you have a show like this, or to use From Dusk Till Dawn, since now I know you've seen it.
Yeah.
Season 1 From Dusk Till Dawn, if you've seen the first movie...
You know what
they're parallel. I mean,
oh yeah. But again, I loved it so much. I know we're talking about S.H.I.E.L.D, but From Dusk Till Dawn's a good show.
Oh, I'm definitely connecting.
But yeah, and if you haven't seen it, you should. By the way, Adrian Palicki is in both. Ah.
Yeah, there's a connection right there. But the other connection is the fact that so season 1 is basically parallel, and then season 2 takes that right turn and does its own thing, where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does.
Yeah. It predicates on, okay, you watch the show, if you watch it because you like the movie, well, now you like the TV show characters. Right. Now we can go forward with that.
Yeah, and then when you get to, season 2 for both shows still kind of has to walk that line of, okay, we got the movie fans, we've got the TV show fans, we need to do both. But then by the time you get to season 3 and season 4, you can do...
Yeah, I think...
Because season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't trying to get new viewers.
Yeah.
They didn't move to 10 o'clock. So
I feel like anybody by season 4 of any show, you know who you're going to. First 2, you're right. You got to get people in who have a certain bias against it or for it.
Yeah.
By 3, maybe that's why 3 to me had like, like when the highs were highs and lows were lows, because they're not trying to impress new people.
Right.
If you don't watch the show by now, you're not going to.
Yeah, because you are going to be lost.
And they're going to be like, and that's fine with us now. But the first 2 were like, okay, come on, guys. Come on in.
Yeah.
Please, come on in. The club is, not full. And by 3, it's like, you know what? If you don't want to come in,
There's a big bouncer at the door. It's like, no, go watch the first 2 seasons first and then come
exactly.
back.
So,
because this isn't like the Goldbergs or something. The Goldbergs, you can it's a half-hour comedy. You can sit down at any episode and watch.
I feel like any comedy, you can just sit down and watch. And that's the beauty of sitcoms.
Yeah. Well, Superstore has a nice through line that you can get lost in, but like Goldberg, something like that, Three's Company, you can watch literally any episode and be all right. With S.H.I.E.L.D., if you just drop down at the episode 1 of season 4, good luck. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not explaining any of it to you because it's going to take too long.
I can't explain to you the Ghost Rider parts because I'm trying to learn as well. But you're wondering who these
we're on the same if
you're trying to wonder who these people are, I'm not. We're not pausing. Yeah. You can ask all the questions at the end, but we're waiting till 11 o'clock.
Yeah, but if you want to know why Quake is doing what she's doing, can't help you there.
Other expectations I have, I hope certain people come back. Mm-hmm. We didn't get Deathlock at all last season. Yeah. I was disappointed. I like Deathlock. Mm-hmm. I like J. August Richards. We have history. Right. I hope he kind of makes an appearance, just somewhat of an appearance. I mean, he's
in the background waving.
I would even take that. I kept thinking he was going to come back at any point in season 3, and he never came back. But I think with something like this, they could use some heavy hitters. Yeah. I hope Joey comes back. Mm-hmm. They already said Yo-Yo's coming back, so that's fine. The big ones I want to come back. Not heavy hitters, but I like them. Bobby and Hunter.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, now that we don't have Most Wanted coming...
it's funny. I was watching, like I just said, I watched season 3 again. Mm-hmm. And I remember watching the episode where they go away. Yeah. I wasn't sad. Because at the time, we're like, oh... We're going to see him again.
Yeah, we got Most Wanted coming out. It's fine.
Now that we know that Most Wanted did not get picked up, that episode kind of depressed me.
I told you and I told our coworker at the time when we would discuss this on weekends that it was too soon to be bringing Most Wanted. And I'm not sure your exact feelings, but our coworker was like, no, Most Wanted will be fine. It will be great,
I guess I'm in, I wanted it because I like the characters and obviously we're not making these decisions. So whatever they decide, we got to either deal with it or don't. Yeah. So it happened. So I was like, okay, well, I like it because I like the character.
And I definitely would have followed them. I would have gone and watched
I think, it could have been an interesting show. Maybe it could have been a cheaper show in the sense of like, I think their story could have, made room for like more practical like spy stuff, right? Like what they do on the Blacklist or something.
If S.H.I.E.L.D. was realistic,
more realistic. So I think that show could have done stuff like that. Yeah, but obviously, it's not the direction they had ultimately wanted. But yeah, like when I'm watching that episode, I was like, oh my god,
they're really gone.
They're really gone. Yeah. So I don't think they're going to join the show again. Yeah. I feel like they're going to spend all the money they can to ignite Ghost Rider's head.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I feel like they probably were going to come back, but then they got the go ahead to do Ghost Rider, and they're like, do we want to pay their salary or perform the Ghost Rider? Right. Yeah. And at the end, I'm like, I feel like I'd rather see Ghost Rider. Yeah. But I do hope they come back, even if it's brief.
Yeah. There has to be something. It'll probably be like the second half of the season. Yeah. I think. I don't think
whether they're together or one of them comes one at a time. Yeah. I don't care.
Because I think if they drop them in like in the first half of the season, it's going to make us as fans expect to see them more.
I feel like it negated their goodbye.
That too. Yeah. And I think Mac will be involved somehow.
I mean, be fantastic to me, like overly fantastic, and like Samuel L. Jackson comes back, and his posse is Deathlock, Hunter, and Bobby.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh my! I would be like, thank you.
The new agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
The Nick Fury Secret Warriors.
There you go. Yeah.
That's where I'll be like, thank you. Okay, you can go back. You can go away for a good while, but thank you for coming back. Yeah. But yeah, in that bullet point, I hope. Familiar faces we have seen in the show come back, and I was surprised that Patton Oswalt didn't come back this season.
That was very disappointing.
I was like, come on, man. Yeah. So again, Patton Oswalt. I mean, I know personally he's gone through certain things.
So it's in the real world, it's understandable that we don't see him playing around, on little things.
But I hope you do come back. Yeah. We enjoy you on the show. Mm-hmm. Enjoy you and everything, but definitely on this show.
But he's a comic book fan, so I'm sure he enjoyed being on the show as well.
Yeah, hope everything's fine and you come back. Mm-hmm. Who else is Familiar face.
Most of the ones I would want to see would have to come back in flashbacks, like Edward James Olmos, Lucy Lawless, people like that.
Trip.
Yeah. Yeah. So, ones that, are not going to be coming back as regular characters, and that's fine. One thing I'd like to see, as talking about flashbacks and stuff like that, is when Hydra went down in that episode, not in that episode even, in that 2 seconds of...
Which they're not.
Coulson like, all right, that's the end of Hydra. All right, let's move on with the story. I just kind of sat there like, are we going to get some explanation of what just happened there? Because that was very I mean, I know Hive was a big deal, but Hydra is also a big deal. We got to keep with the H's there. And I'd like some flashback or something that goes, all right, this is what was happening.
Good. And, I thought of a different way they could bring back Brett Dalton for a bit, not a flashback.
Yeah.
I mean, they could make it, like, not even a B plot, but a C plot, where, like, I don't know, there's, like, a Hydra connection that only wants to talk to Ward, and they make a life model of Grant Ward.
That could work,
and it's a two-parter, because obviously he goes crazy, and they have to shoot another Ward. That'd be fun.
And May just steps in, it's like, my turn.
Exactly, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Just for, for old time's sake back. But that'd definitely be, again, like, in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
I hope we get more new people.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's excited me since season 1. Aside from the cast, we've gotten some pretty interesting guest stars.
Yeah.
Bill Paxton, Adrian Pasdar, Powers Booth, Edward James Olmos, Lisa Lawless.
Powers Booth should have also been his superhero name. Because, I mean, anything else you name him does not sound as superhero-y as Powers Booth.
Right? But we get, very interesting people. So, aside from, Gabriel Luna, but nobody, Gabriel Luna, I think this is his ticket to be like, okay,
right,
I'm going to, this hopefully...
He's going to be putting everything into this.
Yeah, so I hope we get more, interesting...
Yeah,
Kyle MacLachlan. Sorry if I didn't put him in that, but just I hope we get some interesting guest stars.
And I don't know who. Keep them for longer than one episode.
Yeah, I don't know who and what they'll play, but I just hope we get them.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Quake have her own little mini army. And she can have a little mini army of guest stars.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think that notion would kind of negate why she's leaving her other mini army.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's in the place to be like, okay, I love these people, but let me care for these people now.
Yeah. Well, I think it would be more of a, her. I would like to see them try to build her as a villain. I don't think it would be successful, and I wouldn't want it to be successful. But her being so,
But I don't think she wants to be the villain.
Yeah.
I think the best they could do, I don't think they should do that. I think the best they can do is make her be like a really big anti-hero. And I really do feel like they're going to give Ghost Rider the last treatment. I'm like, oh my god, he's the bad guy. Oh no, he's not the bad guy. But this time it's different. We know Ghost Rider's not a bad guy.
Right, yeah.
If you knew who Lash is in comics, you're like, oh my god, he's like a bad guy.
Yeah, Lash is a bad guy, yeah.
So, what they'll do, we don't know.
Yeah.
But again, why do we want to know now? It spoils it.
Yeah, but I do want to see, pissed off Quake.
I think we'll definitely
and that's what I mean by, villain-like, where it's they peg her as a villain. Like, S.H.I.E.L.D. would see her as a villain.
Okay.
Sort of thing.
Maybe not the team.
Right.
Her old team would see her as a villain.
But, I mean, you have a new director that's not familiar with
that's right, yeah.
Daisy, so, he could be like, all right, this is Public Enemy number 1 right here.
And I think they released a light synopsis of the first 2 episodes. Obviously, the first one, they're going to go full force introducing the Ghost Rider.
Right.
The second one, we meet Jason O'Mara's character, and also they tease it as a first showdown between Quake and the Ghost Rider. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And then they're going to take a week off because that's when the Flash premieres.
Yeah.
They're smart. They're like,
that's just being nice to Flash, though.
I think so. They're like, we're going to let them handle that night.
Because if you remember the past seasons, anytime S.H.I.E.L.D. was doing something big, Flash was like, yeah, we're going to show a rerun.
Yeah.
Because secretly, these companies are working together. Yeah. It might look like they're against each other and competing, but no.
They're not.
Yeah.
Let's see, any other expectations? I do hope they, and I think they know this, if you're going to perform someone like the Ghost Rider, I hope we're not seeing the actor's face, 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Now, he might be a fantastic actor, but, we better see some Flaming Skull.
Yeah, but it also depends on when they do that, on how they introduce the character. Because are they going to introduce him as, what'd you say the new character's name is?
Robbie.
Robbie. Are they going to introduce him as Robbie, or are they going to introduce him as,
that's true.
Knight Rider? So, I mean, we could see what Ghost Rider. Knight Rider. Kip is going to be in this episode.
That's his car!
Yeah, there you go. So, see,
It's a flaming kit.
It's a flaming kit. Sorry, Michael. So I mean, this could be his origin story in there. Yeah. That way, and if they do that, that would be a smart thing to do.
They've really been mum on this season.
Yeah, and if they do the first couple episodes as his origin, that'd be very smart to do, because then this is their version. Yeah. So that they don't have to follow the comic, they don't have to follow the old movies. They can do what they want with him.
Which I think, in a way they'll do, because they've done everything their way.
Yeah, because if you read like the Inhuman comics, this Quake is not that Quake.
Yeah. In fact, she was a mutant in the comics originally. They changed her now to be an Inhuman in the comics because of the show.
Because of the show, yeah.
So, we see the impact they're having on each other. Mm-hmm. But I agree. I hope that, whatever they do with him moves well.
Yeah.
I hope, I think we said this earlier, you shouldn't be watching this season because you want to watch Ghost Rider.
Right.
Well, only Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Because it's not the Ghost Rider show. Mm-hmm. Now, there's rumors that Netflix will do a Ghost Rider show, so then you can watch a Ghost Rider show or Ghost Rider. But I think anybody who's in season 4, Ghost Rider is the new spectacle, the new addition. But we're watching it for the show's characters, the main characters. Now, even though we lost a few, but there's still some we care about.
Right. Yeah.
And I hope they have lost sight of that. And I wonder if they're gonna keep killing off people. I hope that happens, but I'm wondering. I was like,
I mean, I know you don't like to think about this, but Coulson's not going to be there forever.
Yes.
Yeah. But how will they do it? Is the question.
If they ever do it, because I mean, I gotta feel like that will be like a finale of sorts, or if he's just not there because they finally going to put him back in the movies.
Right.
But in a way, you may think that. I think that for Ming-Na.
Yeah.
For some reason, I keep thinking Ming-Na every season that comes by after season 2. Oh, Ming-Na's going to bite the bullet in this one.
I know, yeah. Yeah, season 3, I kept sitting on the edge of my seat, thinking, this can be the end of May right here.
Me too, especially at the end.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
But... you may think that with Clark Gregg. I think that with Ming-Na. I don't know why, but just it kind of makes me feel like this could be it for her.
Right. And they could both go out in a blaze of glory together.
They could, and and then Quake would be the leader. Yeah, that'd be an interesting thing.
That would have to be like the end of season 4. They couldn't make that like the mid-season break there. No.
And surprise, he's not dead. He just went to the movies now. He got a pay raise.
Yeah.
May didn't, but
Yeah, right.
But he did.
But she can do other things as well.
Well, anyway, so I think that's all we can really say about season 4.
Yeah.
Before it airs. Now, once episode 1 airs, we're gonna have some words.
Yeah,
and there'll be good words, you cynics out there.
And we're not gonna warn you every episode, but I will say now, every episode will be a spoiler episode.
Yeah.
Because we're going to talk
not just S.H.I.E.L.D, Flash, iZombie,
all of it. Yeah.
Everything.
Supergirl. If we decide to give Legends of Tomorrow another chance...
Which mostly be you.
Will mostly be me, yeah, because I have a bad tendency of... See, I love B-movies, so I believe in giving everything a chance.
Yeah.
No more Gotham, though, and Arrow, I'm just not going to get around to watching.
Well, by now. It's like what we said. Like, they're about to be on season 5.
Yeah.
If you haven't been watching, let's face it,
there's too much catching up.
You're not watching.
Yeah.
So, but everything's a spoiler.
Yeah.
You'll probably, our Supergirl reviews are probably going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going in being hopeful.
But I am the cynic and the hopeful on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm the person who, watching the first season of Supergirl...
You watched it.
I watched it. I have it on Amazon. Every bad episode that's in there, I was like, no, the next episode is going to be so much better.
I just watched the first 2, and then I gave up, and I came back for the Flash one.
Yeah.
Because it was the Flash.
Right.
Not because, I wonder what they've been doing lately.
Yeah.
Nope, don't care.
And in the end of season 1, I'm like, well, crap, that's the way they're going to end it. I'm still gonna watch season 2 though.
I am caught up plot wise though.
Yeah,
I do know what's been going on.
So you know the minor reveal that could end up being a big reveal at the end of
exactly.
Season 1.
I have been keeping tabs on what happens.
Yeah,
but we'll get more into that when we actually do the Supergirl review.
Yeah.
But I just think it's going to be hilarious because we're speaking about S.H.I.E.L.D. so vehemently, and we're going to talk about iZombie and The Flash the same way.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about Supergirl this way.
No.
It's going to be like, well, okay, so here's what happened.
Because as much as I love Supergirl, I don't give it the same respect I give S.H.I.E.L.D. because they're not in the same caliber of show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, till when we come back, we will have watched, and you should have as well, the first episode of season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
The Ghost.
Yes, enjoy listening to this episode, but don't listen to our next episode until you watch S.H.I.E.L.D.
Because like the Beard said, from here on out, just spoilers. Movie reviews, life.
Well, movie reviews will still give you a warning, depending on the level of movie it is. Yeah. But for shows, I'm not going to spend the first half...
Spoiler, guys!
Warning you, yeah. So, until next time.